Man, I went for the second time and I made it clear because their responses were pretty ridiculous. So mine was pointing that out, pretty much every freaking response. But I said, I'm not going to come here a third time. I said, but I might do a vlog that say you're refusing, as experts on your sign, to have discussions about sustainability. I'll say that in a vlog, but you're missing the chance to express yourselves as experts of sustainability on my vlogs related to having an eco-centric worldview. And of course, their business as usual. I made it clear, I wrote on the note, I said, this discussion will be about deep ecology, not shallow ecology. Make sure if somebody does, wherever this larger organization is micromanaged from that one individual, is make sure they know that. Probably won't hear from them, and if I do, it probably won't accept. So I wanted to talk about another sociocybernetic feedback loop, and it is that people are still and will continue to talk about how COVID or mandate restrictions are at fault for their inability to engage and follow up in social interactions that will satisfy their needs as social creatures. And I tell you, before COVID, as a life skills coach who had been trained, given letters of reference, asked to replace the teacher, given contracts to teach life skills, is there was a quick deceleration of the human condition, correlated also to, anyways. So I couldn't even do it for free anymore. And it's not because I did bad work. It's just people didn't want to put in the effort. I'm continuing. I'm always continuing to offer these for free in every organization, except now I'm focusing on not the clientele, but the people that serve the clientele, because that's the logical sequence, because they don't have these skills. They can't role model it. They can't discuss it in the right way without knowing what it is and demonstrating it and being able to tell the difference between this type of skill and this type of skill. And again, I will get mostly no success in finding venues and participants for this. But I'll continue because I walk the talk. And I need to practice these skill sets because, like you, I'm a social creature and I want my social needs met. But, when you add, rednecks reinforcing each other, saying things that show that to them and their surroundings, people without these skills, and who complain that they have limits that they actually set upon themselves, but they don't put a bumper sticker on their cars that said, fuck me or whatever. Sorry about the language. They'll put it on somebody else. But, when you give them a chance to not look at themselves in the mirror, and they do that to each other. They say, oh, don't look in the mirror. Just point the finger. And you can say it's like something like the COVID mandates that prevented us from hanging out in unhealthy ways where our social needs were not being met. But we were not as needy for them because there was a tiny bit of here and there the illusion that they were a little bit or that they might be met. So when you don't have the right discussions about why as social creatures, because I see it all the time. I see all people want to interact more and they post, these activities and I suggest things and I say, can I join? And nobody follows up. Nobody, it's suddenly it's like a switch and they have a developmental disability and they can't follow up with anything anymore. What explains that? Well, my theory does. But it's pretty sad. And if somebody says, yeah, I see what you mean, Martin, yeah, I agree. How do you propose to solve that? Well, how about you role model things I've been trying to role model, because the more people do it, the more there's the miracle that can happen, that we can reverse the Anthropocene where we stop fighting against each other and become more and more self-involved and self-centered, and we actually can collaborate and partake in community and engage in win-win scenarios and behave in ways that really shows that we deserve to be parents, we deserve to be doctors, we deserve to be educators, we deserve to be politicians, we deserve the role of being a judge, whatever it is. And parents in doing so, right? In having these roles. Well, for that, and I'm telling you, life skills, as defined properly, and I've done a lot of vlogs to get you back on track with that on my YouTube channel, is you guys need to always refresh these, because even if, let's say, you do just a few, not the entire program, let's say, which is not years and years, by the way. But let's say you do a few and you excel. You will lose those right away, because you won't be surrounded by people that, let's say, reinforce you getting better at it or keeping them. You'll be judged by it. So again, the shift has to happen. You need to keep taking the training. Keep getting better at the skills. And keep, recommending that, more of your social needs are being met because you have done so.